Boom. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Sunday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. So, today we're going to be taking a look at another beer from, I would say, these guys are probably one of my favorite breweries within the state of Illinois. Illinois has a bunch of different breweries when it comes to like the northwest suburbs and kind of around the Chicagoland area. And these guys have kind of put themselves on the map for being some of the best, I think. When it comes to IPAs, stouts, barley wines, you name it, they've done it. And they just come out with really good beer. Sometimes they don't really try to reinvent the wheel. They just try to come out with a bunch of different varieties of stuff. And today we got another one from Noon Whistle Brewing called Hop Prism Blue. This is like kind of their Hop Prism kind of IPA series. And this one is a Mosaic and Simcoe hopped IPA. And it comes at a 7.3% ABV. So I would say that's just under the mark of still being in that sessionable realm. So I'm pretty excited about this one. Of course, Noon Whistle has some really like classy, simplistic kind of labeling. As you can see, they kind of make their beers kind of speak for themselves. They don't kind of go overly crazy on the can art, which I can appreciate. These guys have set themselves up as some of the higher quality stuff you can get within the area, at least. And I'm pretty damn excited for this guy. So without further ado, I think it's time for us to open this guy up. With there being only Simcoe and Mosaic, I'm expecting some nice kind of berry aromas coming off there, maybe some citrus and stuff, along with maybe kind of having like a little grassy, piney kind of feel to it. But overall, I think it's going to be just a really nice, solid, easy drinking, sessionable IPA. So without further ado, let's crack this guy open. Let's see what we get on the nose. Oh yeah, definitely getting that kind of almost like stone fruit, apricot kind of note on the nose. Maybe a little bit of like a blueberry and a strawberry note. Definitely getting that pininess coming through very forward. It's definitely more of like a floral pininess. Definitely going to be in that kind of, I feel like there's some of the flavors you're going to definitely get grassy notes in this. It's just overall, yeah, it smells absolutely like a nice, really good IPA. So without further ado, let's pour this guy. Going to be drinking out of my untapped pint glass this afternoon, and let's see how this pours. I'm not expecting this to be too like hazy at all, but it might be more in the realms of just like kind of a murky kind of situation. But yeah, it definitely has like a nice golden color, pillowy soft head on the top. But yeah, this looks absolutely delicious if I say so myself. Definitely almost clear, but I would say this is closer to like murky, I guess. Not really much sediment going on in there, but overall, yep, definitely getting more of a pine forward kind of situation on the nose now. Yeah, it smells absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let's give this guy a try. So cheers, everybody. Hope you guys had a fantastic holiday and happy Sunday. Oh yeah, right off the bat. Very nice, like piney, grassy, hoppy flavor up front. Getting like hints of like stone fruit in there a little bit. Definitely has that oily kind of mouthfeel that I would expect from this style in IPA. It's not really juicy in any aspect. It definitely kind of leaves that oil slick kind of mouthfeel when it comes to like having those pine forward kind of flavors in there. Overall, there's a nice balance of sweetness in there at the end with kind of like some of those sweeter notes of getting like maybe the stone fruit or maybe like the mango, citrus, blueberry with the mix of the two hops in there. Yeah, I think it's absolutely solid. Definitely, they weren't trying to reinvent the wheel with this one. I know that for sure. The Simcoe Mosaic hopped IPA, so it's definitely trying to bring like a nice balance of berry, stone fruit, and like a little bit of like tropical citrus along with tropical fruit notes and a nice piney grassiness as well, which I think they did a pretty damn good job of trying to make all those flavors kind of work together, because Mosaic and Simcoe are probably up there with a very, very common duo when it comes to hops they put together, just because they balance out really well together and they don't make it overly too complicated on flavor. And I think they did a pretty fantastic job with this one for sure. So let's look here on Untapped. And of course, if you're not able to get your hands on anything from Noon Whistle, they're available on liquor stores and on bottle shops all around the Chicagoland area. And of course, this beer is actually on tap over at both locations at the brewery right now when it comes to their Lombard and Naperville locations. So you can get this stuff on tap over at their locations right now, which is pretty cool. But Untapped does a really cool thing where they show similar beers to this one, to where if you can't get your hands on it, you might be able to find a similar experience with something that they have listed here. So we got one from Oscar Blues Brewery called the Thick Haze, which is like a nice 7% hazy IPA. So yeah, where are these guys out of? Let's see. These guys are out of Longmont, Colorado. But yeah, this is definitely going to kind of bring up some, like, definitely have a nice... So this one's going to bring more creamy kind of mouthfeels to it, but of course you're going to be getting more tropical fruit. You're going to be still getting that citrus a little bit more, but you might get more of that honeysuckle. It's saying that you get flavors of honeysuckle and strawberry, so definitely the honeysuckle will help kind of bring in that little bit like florally kind of taste, and the strawberry will give you that berry note. So that this one might be a pretty good alternative if you can't get your hands on this one. Of course, they have another one here from Chicago, from another brewery called Half Acre Brewing Company, which I love these guys. This is their Tend, which is like their 6.8% winter IPA, which I don't know, because definitely with a winter IPA I can see more like florally and piney notes coming forward, so that might give you the similarity of like those pine and kind of things going right now. But then we have one here called from Humble Sea Brewing Company called That's What I Call Foggy, which is like their double dry hopped foggy double IPA with Citra, Vic Secret, and Galaxy. I wouldn't really consider this one in that similar realm just because that's going to probably be a more juicy mouthfeel. Of course, be more hazy, definitely more pungent and vibrant on probably the tropical citrus aromas on that guy. And then we got another Illinois one. I believe Eagle Park Brewing Company is in Illinois. I thought they were. Oh no, they're in Milwaukee. Never mind. Okay. So Eagle Park Brewing Company up in Wisconsin. They have one called the Needler, which they're showing as a similar one, and this one is made with Chinook hops. So okay, so yeah, predominant pine and subtle citrus notes. That might actually be a good one as well. And then you got one here for another Illinois brewery called Obscurity Brewing and Craft Mead, which is their 6% Santa Puppet Party, which is a nice heavy body, full citrus, Christmas themed IPA. So, to be honest, the Thick Haze probably is a good one, but I think I'm going to lead more towards the Needler from Eagle Park. If you can get your hands on that one, you might be able to have a similar drinking experience to this, just because this is definitely more pine forward and like floral forward for an IPA. I believe you'll probably have the same kind of mouthfeel, having that oily mouthfeel, because when it's like more of a floral kind of pine forward, kind of a grassy kind of forward IPA, you're definitely going to have more of that oily mouthfeel kind of situation. So that one, the Needler, is probably going to be the closest one I think you'll have to like a nice similar drinking experience to this one. So let's look here on Untappd and see what Untappd shows the description for this beer we're drinking right now. So right here it says, up next in our Hop Prism series, this is a Simcoe and Mosaic hopped India Pale Ale, is like a ray of golden sunshine. A nicely balanced bitterness can only be described and dubiously delicious. So, of course, Simcoe and Mosaic, definitely two hops that work well together. And like I said before, it's a 7.3% ABV, which is a nice realm for an ABV for this kind of style of IPA. And with over 5,914 ratings on this guy, this was an average rating of 3.85 out of 4, which is pretty damn solid. I notice when it comes to IPAs, more when it's in that kind of juicy, kind of hazy IPA is when they start getting more ratings above like that 4.25 kind of realm for an average. But this one having that 3.85, having the more of those pine forward kind of notes, I think is still a pretty good average rating, in my opinion. So, yeah, let's see. Let's see if there's anybody on my friends list who checked this one, and I have a few people. So, my dad's checked this one, and because I think he purchased this 4-pack over at Noon Whistle. And along with, he's actually gotten this one for us to bring home in a growler before. So we've had it a growler, we've had it in the cans, we've had it at the brewery, and it's overall still as delicious. He gave it a 3.75, which is, I would say for this kind of beer, really kind of good average kind of realm for this. Another guy that's kind of in my area that I don't really know him that well, but he checked this one, gave it a 3.75. My uncle checked this one in, didn't give it a rating at all. And then this guy, my dad actually checked this in at a bar that it used to be like 3 minutes away from where I used to work. It's called T Woods, but it's the Thornwood Restaurant Lounge, and they have it on tap over there. When he checked this in back, and okay, so he checked that one in a while ago when he first had it, and he gave it a 3.75 there. So most of the stuff I'm seeing from my friends on my friend list checking this one in is a 3.75, which is pretty damn good. But let's look here on the global rating and see what people had to say. So this guy gave it a 4.25. Let's see, another 4.25. Purchased at the Malloy's Finest Wine and Spirits in Lisle, Illinois, which it looks like they have a pretty cool selection over there. Of course, they have a bunch of other local stuff from like Alter, Let's see, the Alarmist is around here, so Penrose. So yeah, they definitely have a lot. That place in Lisle that I'm talking about right here has a lot of local stuff. So if you want to get your hands on some local Illinois craft beer, Malloy's Finest Wine and Spirits might be a good location because you may be able to pick this stuff up as well. Let's see, this person gave it a 3.5. Let's see, another 375. Purchased at the AMC Showplace Springfield, so he's at the movie theater drinking it, which is a pretty cool situation. You can drink beer at a movie theater. I love when movie theaters are starting to have like bars and beers you can get there, which is a great idea. Let's see, 4.25. I guess guy gave it a 4, 3.25. Let's see, another 3.25, 3.75, 4. So yeah, a little bit. It's more averaging out that 3.75 kind of realm in my opinion. So having some of those 4s, I'm expecting that more of some of those people that gave it the 4 rating definitely enjoy more of those pine kind of floral forward kind of IPAs, which is, they're not my go-to style of IPA, but I can still enjoy an IPA of this style because it's still delicious. So let's start figuring out what we're going to be doing for ratings on our end here. Let me pour the rest of this in the glass if I can. And let's look at the can art. Like I said when I first started this, Noon Whistle doesn't usually go too crazy when it comes to what they decide to do with can art on their cans. They like to keep it simple. They like to let the beer speak for itself, which I can appreciate. If you're trying to make the beer the main focal point of your product, sure, that's fine. And plus, when it comes to keeping it clean on the can art, they always do a really good job keeping it classy. Nothing really appealing to any kind of crowd at all. Just something simple, having the nice kind of blue kind of color. I really like the color of the blue on this thing. Of course, the Noon Whistle kind of token thing on the top, name of the beer in the center, and then ABV on the bottom. That's like mostly what you'll see on any kind of can of Noon Whistle beer. So overall, yeah, pretty solid. I'll give this a 3.75 for can art, maybe a 3.5 most likely for can art. I don't know if this would be something that would catch my attention specifically, just for the art itself on there. It would catch my attention because it's a Noon Whistle beer. That's definitely what would be the kind of marketing focal point for me. If knowing Noon Whistle comes out with high quality beers, if I see this beer in a liquor store or a bottle shop saying Noon Whistle, I'll most likely go over there and check it out because I love their beers. So yeah, 3.5 out of 5 for can art for me. And let's see, if I got this beer in a flight at Noon Whistle, if I just got to go over there, would I get a flight? Would I get another one? To be honest, I probably would. Yeah, I might gravitate more towards like a hazy IPA if I decided to, but if I was feeling more in the mood of like a nice kind of piney, more floral piney IPA, sure, I would definitely go for this one. Of course, it's definitely up there with some of this style of an IPA. This is definitely one of the good ones in my opinion. I know a lot of different breweries kind of have that more of that florally kind of style. It depends if they want, because there's two realms. It's a juicy IPA, a juicy hazy IPA, or you're definitely going to get more in the realm of this style of IPA if you're not drinking that kind. So overall, yeah, this beer is absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. So I think for my final rating on this guy, I'm going to give this a solid 7.5 out of 10. Maybe 7.25, 7.5 out of 10. I think I'm going to go with the 7.5. Really delicious. If you like a very like pine, florally, hoppy forward kind of beer, if you're a hophead, I think you would enjoy this. Definitely leaves that nice oily mouthfeel from this style of IPA. But overall, like I said before, they're not trying to reinvent the wheel with this one. They're not. They're just decided to take two hops that work really well together and just make a beer out of them. I'm wondering, I'm thinking maybe, I'm trying to think of what beer went into later in the whirlpool. I would most likely, I would say maybe the Mosaic may have came in later. They probably did the Simcoe right at the beginning of the boil, or like towards the beginning of the boil, and then towards the end, maybe during the whirlpool, they added some of the Mosaic, the Simcoe in there, and then kind of went through that. But overall, yeah, I think they did an absolutely fantastic job. So other than that, yeah, I think that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. So thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. I know it's kind of a slower afternoon just because people were spending time with their families all weekend, so people are just kind of taking today just to relax, kind of decompress before going back to work and stuff tomorrow like people are doing. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. So thank you again, everybody, for hanging out. You guys are amazing. If If you want to see a social media aspect of beer drinking where you can see me check in possibly other beers from Noon Whistle when I drink them down the road, I always recommend getting yourself onto Untappd. It's a great platform. We can use it on Android or iPhone, along with, if you're sitting on a computer all day, you can use it through the desktop as well, through the browser. But it's just really cool. You can check in beers, get badges. You can just see what's popular in your area, what's popular in the global kind of scale of Untappd. It's just, they have so many different things on there that comes to coupon codes for different services when it comes to craft beer. It's just a really, really cool time over there. You can see people like me, Kentucky, Ian, Duchess, Kevin K's on there, Sean and Typhon, Sean and Lizzie, the Angry Hippies themselves. Who else is on there? I know Lee, not the real Gerard Butler's on there. There's just a bunch of people from like the group that is normally in here during the reviews, and some names you might have know of from around different industries and all that stuff that enjoy craft beer, along with other content they create on YouTube. It's just a really fun time over there. I really, really enjoy Untappd as like a platform where I can have fun and drink beers and see what other people are drinking. So if you want to shoot me a friend request, if you haven't already, link to my profile is down in the description below for you guys. And other than that, that is pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to end this like I always end it before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly, don't drink and drive, and I'll see you all next time, people. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Cheers.